Hello, everyone. Welcome to Binary Alpha Season 5. This is a Friday Q&A session that we have, and everyone has had a chance this week to learn some about the market structure and X-ray vision and how we can reverse engineer the market to see potentially where the market may go in the future. So if we look in the past, it can give us a better understanding of where the market will go in the future. And instead of being a reactive co-trader or reactive trader, we can be a proactive trader. And that's really what this is all about ultimately, is being able to see the market future where it may go, and then be able to prepare good trades with good flag candles and all of that. So let's jump into the questions we have for this week. This Friday Q&A session is a time for people to ask any questions, not just specifically about what we learned this past week, but really anything. And I will try to answer these questions. Thankfully, we also have Kazi here today who can help us to answer some of these questions if I get stuck as well, since he is the master of all this information. Okay, Richard says, "Hi, Adam. In a previous season, it was said that for a valid fifth logic, the loss candle must break the Kazi high-low and also the second moving average. In season 5, only breaking the Kazi high-low is enough. What is it now?" Richard, I'm not sure where you heard that from, but yeah, it's always been breaking both the Kazi high-low and the second moving average. If we go back to our 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 class in the about valid and invalid fifth logic, we actually said that. We said that it has to break both the second moving average and the Kazi high-low for it to be a valid fifth logic. If you go back and look at the slides, you'll see that as well, that we have that in the slides there. Okay, is this a valid fifth logic? All righty. For one, I'm not sure what time. Richard, if you're there, what time do you think this is? Or what time is this on the chart? A lot of times when I see a lot of dojis like this may actually be in the dead zone. Let's see here. If you draw a trend line from up here, you can actually see that this pins the trend. And I would go with the invalid fifth logic in a scenario like this because of the trend time. 3 p.m. European time. So that was about, can you tell me exactly what day and what currency pair? And we can try to look this up and look at the whole overview of the market to see what may have been happening there. That's always helpful if you guys can put, if you actually can show the currency pair and also the time, then I can look it up really quick on the market, and we can actually take a look at that together. So Richard will do that. We'll go on to the next question, and then we'll come back to that once he pulls that up for us. Okay, but again, for me, I would draw we would draw a trend line here from where our candles cross over the main moving average, and that would give us, we would actually see, this is rejecting that trend line, so the market is still wanting to push down from there. We would go for an invalid fifth logic in that type of situation. Okay, Andrew, look at my current chart. Okay, let's just see what it is here. See if we can answer this. Okay. Andrew, if you're there, let me know what this blue line is. I'm not sure what it may just be, you're showing the price point here. Okay, so we had a valid flag candle sequence. Looks like a nice, probably second level here. We have 2 bonuses. We have 2 losses. Comes up into some type of seventh logic type situation. Okay, it looks like we have plenty of space to our trend line. But if we go for 2 minutes here, we lose. And if we go for another 2-minute call, we lose. Kazi's really good at these seventh logic situations. If he's there, maybe he can type what he thinks he would do, or I can pass the presenter role to him in a scenario like this. Previous was rejection on the trend line. Okay. He's saying the trend line was rejected, showing the market may want to continue pushing down from here. Okay, so we have, it's a pin here. Okay, not sure how big this pin is. Oh, not this one, sorry. Oh, you're talking about this one down here. What about this one up here, Kazi? What do you think? With came down and gave two nice bonuses, pushes back up. Looks like there's enough space for a valid seventh logic, but it seems like it ends up being invalid there for 2 minutes. All right, let's see. This is GBP USD on the 15th of January. Okay. The 15th of January. That was the day that really the market, for what we understand in Binary Alpha, the market kind of came back on the line, because a lot of December through about January 15th, the market is pretty slow because of the whole situation with bankers being gone for vacations and stuff like that. Okay, so Kazi said this is a 4-bullet loss. So here's one of the small percentage of times where a seventh logic would, I guess, would be a full loss for you. Because I think Kazi's saying here he would have actually gone for a valid seventh logic, and for 2 minutes, and this first 2 minutes loses, and the second 2 minutes loses. But again, as we talked about before, when we get to split risk management, you guys will learn about how to split your risk, and even if you get a loss like this, you will be able to recover it over time. Okay, so Kazi's saying basically after the first loss, the fact that these first two didn't actually work their way back up to the trend line, he would have stopped and he would have split the risk. So he would have actually tried to recover on his fourth bullet on a different seventh logic situation that would have actually been more secure for him to do his recovery on. Okay. All right. Let's go to our next question here. Dirk says, in the X-ray vision class of season 4, Larry explained that one can be confident that when the price touches the multi-time frame Kazi high-low, the market will reject and we can go for a 5-minute trade, especially in the Asian session. We didn't discuss this matter in our X-ray vision class. Yeah, that's something that we will talk about more later on when we talk about the pin finder. Just depending on when we release that to you guys. We didn't actually get the pin finder until we were really in the co-trading group, so right before that. Again, that's not something that's necessary right now for you guys for learning Binary Alpha, but it will be something that you guys can look forward to in the future of an understanding of how that type of stuff works. But when we talked about market structure and when we talked about the X-ray vision class we just did, along with market structure, we actually talked about that. We actually talked about how the ranges of the market, whether it's the current day range or the range of the last 2 days, can cause stuff like that to happen. These, like for instance, this is our multi-time frame Kazi high-low here on a 1-hour chart. If the market is probably not going to, but if the market worked its way up to there, the market, this is a point of tension that the market may reverse from. And again, it may also have the strength to punch through, but it also may reverse from that. As here was the multi-time frame Kazi high-low. This was the range of the market for this day. When these hours were coming up, this was the high of the current day. And as the market was working its way up, it looks like maybe there was a player in the market that tried to push it past this range, but it did not have the strength to. And so the market ended up reversing from that place. It may have pushed through a little bit, but the market ended up reversing from there. And again, for now, what you guys need to be looking out for in a situation like this is if you have a breakout, then there can be good bonuses. But if not, there could be a really good seventh logic or fifth logic in a scenario like this. So we have, this is a really large pin, almost 400 points. Here's a place that the market reversed nicely from at one time. It's our current day range when we were on this day. And the market could actually, again, give a really nice seventh logic. Kazi was talking about splitting his risk, using a fourth bullet. This may be a place that he's going to look for a potential seventh logic scenario. We can actually look at that just to see what may have happened on that day. Okay, so it was this line here, just to see what may have happened, and this hour here, maybe this hour as well, because it tried to push back up again. Let's go to our 1 minute chart. It happened yesterday. Okay. Let's scroll back and see what may have happened there. Okay, so it was these hours here. Okay, so the market actually did push pretty strongly up there, and then you can see it reverses. It doesn't, let's see, it doesn't really seem to give us, okay, so if we count this as a bonus, loss, recovery, we have a D flag here, 3 more bonuses, here's another D flag, we get 2 bonuses, and then it goes into some type of 7th logic type scenario. You would use maybe 2 bullets here, and then your second 2 bullets here, and you would recover on the second one if you play this whole scenario out. But again, you can see the market ranged up, and it tried to push further, but it ended up coming back down. So whoever this player was in the market, more than likely, had the strength to push the market back down in their favor. And again, the market tries to push up, but again, it ends up getting rejected there as well. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. Hope that makes sense there. Pin Finder could, in theory, help us chase good bonuses. Yeah, exactly. Okay, yeah, split risk management really helps. Again, right now we do 4 bullets just so you guys can get a lot of practice in, understanding, what a good flag candle is, what, an entire sequence type setup is. But in the future, split risk management is something that will be safer for you guys to use, because then you can actually, split your risk in the markets, and that can really help you guys to recover fully when you lose and get into a tricky situation. Okay, that was Dirk's question. Let's go on to our next question here. Dirk again. When setting an alarm in MT4, there is a sound alarm, but it doesn't show which currency pair has given the alarm, so I have to search on all 7 charts. Okay, what you need to do is we have this the data window. Okay, you need to grab your data window and pull it out, and it will show. I believe is it the data window? When I have an alert come up, I have a window pop up as well, and it tells me what actual chart is alerting. Or here it is. Is this it? The not under strategy tester. Where's it at? What is this here? Okay, here it is under terminal. So it's under your terminal. You have your alerts here, and you can, I believe you can pull that out if I remember correctly. Kent told me he can never find it. But usually when you have an alert, when I have an alert, you can, like this, you pull the terminal out and you should see your alerts there. Okay. So it's under the terminal window. That gives you your alerts there. Okay. Let's see the next question. Stefano says, could you please tell me what I did in this picture 1? Was it invalid because of the long pin? Okay. So this is, didn't mean to zoom in that much. Hold on. This is Euro USD, February the 8th, around the 2100 hour. See if we can pull this up on our chart. Euro USD, February the 8th, 2100 hour. Oh, wrong direction. Okay. February the 8th, 2100. So it should be right in here somewhere. I believe this was the setup he got. Let's zoom in here, see what we can find. Okay. So he drew his trend line there. Let's draw it from back here for 1. So we had, this was a valid flag as far as, it meets all of our criteria for a valid flag. You get a bonus, you get a big loss here. For me, again, this is one of those situations where I told you guys this is kind of like what I call a fifth seventh. If this one single candle by itself has the ability to break the Kazi high-low and the second moving average, we measure our space. We see there's plenty of space to get down to our trend line, and we would actually go put. Now, again, if you want to split your risk and be safe, when you get a tie like this, you just get out. You get out of the market because you're not sure. You're not really sure what the market may do at that point. But if you feel like you're certain the market's still going to push its way down, then you can actually take another put there, and you end up winning in this candle here. Yeah, 1 minute exactly. We do a 1 minute put again because we are below the Kazi high-low. If we were above the Kazi high-low here, we're in 2 minute scenario, but because we're below it, we go 1 minute. So we could go 1 minute here and tie and either get out and split our risk, or go for another 1 minute, and we win here. We win a bonus, we win a recovery, and then we stop. Remember, again, we always stop when we have a recovery. Okay, guys? All right, so let's look at our next question here. Okay. I remember that Kazi was explaining in one of the previous season videos something about the price is in a cage to draw smoking of a cage around the candles. Yesterday, he posted a new video about head break, and there he draws boxes in places where the price is ranging. Is that the same? Can you explain both things? We actually are going to have a class next week on what we call the flag cage and fake push, and it's basically places where if you want to try to use fake push as a recovery method, the flag cage is really a good way to do that. So we'll explain that more next week as we go through that scenario. Yeah, exactly. Head break's a totally separate strategy. So let's just kind of focus on the BA part of it. The general part of it, and we will talk about this again more next week. But the very the most basic part of it is that when you have a flag candle, you want to draw a line at the bottom of your flag candle at the Kazi. Oh, too big. Hold on. At where the Kazi high-low is at, and then at the top of your flag candle. And those are going to be three positions that you can look for to potentially take a fake push off of when you want to take a trade. Maybe an instance like this, maybe Kazi would, as instead of jumping right in this bonus, because there's such a large pin here, as this comes down and touches the top of this flag candle, he may go for his bonus there. And again, we'll talk about that more next week in our flag cage class, which I believe is going to be on Wednesday of next week. And that will clarify some of those things for you guys. Okay, see our next question here. Kazi's typing for a minute, so let me let him answer that question too about the flag cage for the fake push. Okay, yeah. Yeah, definitely. That's one of the things we've been saying for you guys. At least learn binary alpha for a while before you just jump into head break, because binary alpha is really the foundation of helping you understand the momentum of the market, how the market moves and flows. Everything comes down to momentum, and if you guys can get a strong basis for this within binary alpha, then if you do move on to head break one day, head break will be so much easier for you because you can have the foundation, which is binary alpha. Okay, so let's see our next question here. Stefano says, do you usually set alerts only on midpoints and break levels of a M and W structure and wait for them, or do you think it's worth taking into consideration also any other big pins in between? Yeah, that's something we talked about as well. Some of the big pins in between are actually the smaller ranges of the market. It may be a place where the market could reverse from or break out. But again, we want to try to take the safest trades possible where we have the best flag candles at a second or third level, and usually those develop. Again, I'm just trying to show you guys potential places where if you don't necessarily want to sit at the computer all day, look for ranging in the market. Look for places where the market may break out. Again, like here, we talked about this setup the other day. Here's a nice W pattern here in the market. We have a W coming up like this. here's a potential where the market can either reverse from or have a breakout. And it looks like the first time it came up here in this candle, it comes up and probably reverses from. But the second time it punches through strongly, and more than likely there was an opportunity for bonuses there if there was a flag candle in the 1 minute chart. So again, for me, I would have set up an alert, somewhere right before this Kazi high low on my 1 minute chart to let me know, hey, the market's getting close to a place where it could give me, some type of potential, or even here, where the market, if I have 2 hours in a row trending, I'm going to set an alert right around here where the top of this candle is. And as soon as my alert hits, I'm going to look at my 1 minute chart. If I have a nice flag candle, good level and everything, and it breaks here, this may have been a good potential for bonuses here because this is a place where the market starts trending some. Okay. So again, this is just helping you guys to recognize um, potential places for that. Okay. Yeah, exactly. We follow we follow first the basic binary alpha rules, and by understanding the basics, when we get to other stuff later on, it will make a whole lot more sense. Okay. All right. Let's look at our next question here. Gamini says, having watched prospective traders on BA Season 5 chat, it seems like most of us are not adhering to the binary alpha principles. That includes myself. Could you please define in no uncertain terms what is required by us to stick to the binary alpha principles, what we need to plan before we start looking for a prospective trade? We seem trading willy-nilly, hoping for a bonus. Honestly, Gamini, I understand that because when I first started binary alpha, and a lot of us, we were so excited to just like take a trade that we would just trade anything, anywhere. We would get so excited, like, oh, the flag candle, I got to go. I just need to trade it. And sometimes that's okay in the beginning for when you're just trying to understand, how to press the trade button and how to figure out, what's happening in the market. But again, one of the things I'm trying to teach you guys is to be proactive traders rather than reactive traders. And so really, if you really want to be a proactive trader, for one, very, very, very first thing, most important, are the beginning classes we talked about. Understand the market momentum, understand how the market flows. Just look at a 1 hour chart or a 1 minute chart and a 1 hour chart. Just see how the market, again, imagine this like a ball, and here's barriers, and the ball is going up and down, up and down. It breaks through the barrier. It goes up and down, up and down. You just look at the market, see how the market flows, and then once you see how the market kind of flows, then understand what a valid flag candle is. One of the things that I have seen from a lot of you guys as you post pictures is you get excited because, maybe you got 3 bonuses or maybe you got a 7th logic, but you did not trade on a valid flag candle. And again, if we look at the trades that Kazi does on the $45 account, you guys can go back and see that, he doesn't trade on nasty looking flag candles. Kazi trades, the proper thing, and when you stick with the proper thing, you discipline yourself to get trading in the right way. Um, yeah, exactly, Kent. The psychological part is the real challenge. Having the patience to wait for the right thing to happen. Sometimes we jump into something and it's the wrong thing, and we develop bad habits for trading. What was this, Kazi? Oh yeah, yeah. This is a review I did of Kazi's of some of his bonuses that he took. Some of us started that in our season 2, where we basically went and analyzed a week of his trading, and again we saw in his trading that he did not um, he did not stray from his own rules. He stuck with the rules. If it was a good flag candle, he went. He didn't, you don't see any nasty looking flag candles. And again, this is because he himself was able to look at the 1 hour structure of the market first. Gamini, that's a good thing to do. Always first look at the 1 hour structure of the market. See what's happening there that could potentially give you something good in the 1 minute. Again, we said what happens in the 1 hour in small ways is going to happen in big ways in the 1 minute chart. And that's how binary alpha was developed, understanding these swing patterns in the 1 hour chart. Okay, yeah, again, guys, stick to valid flag candles. That is the first and most important thing. If you're not trading valid flag candles, then even if you get wins or even if you get like a valid or invalid seventh logic there, that doesn't mean the right thing was done. Make sure you're sticking to proper levels as too. One of the things we've talked a lot about is, sometimes you guys are trading on half levels, and that's when things get trickier in the market, is when you trade on like a half level, or a extreme level, or a really close first level. All of that stuff, um, yeah, all of that stuff will be can really mess you up and can really mess your psychology up, because you get into bad habits. And when you get into bad habits, um, I can share an experience. I'm not going to say a name, but one of my friends, and something we've been trading recently, he got into a few bad habits of, trading on something that wasn't really exactly correct. It was close to it, but it wasn't. Imagine it like a bad flag candle. Um, he was trading on, and sometimes he would win those, and then eventually it messed him up, and he ended up losing 3 full cycles, which pushed him back a few weeks. And again, it's something that you guys have to get used to. Always trading the right thing, because if you get in bad habits of trading bad flags and in the wrong situations, in the long run, you end up uh, biting yourself in the. It ends up coming to bite you in the end, because you will end up being undisciplined in that way. Okay, let's look at and you'll end up losing some cycles that you would not have lost otherwise. You wouldn't have got into otherwise. Again, I've showed you guys some examples over the past month of opportunities where within an hour, if you were just waiting and watching for the right thing, you could win 5 or 6 trades, in just a couple of cycles, if you're just paying attention to what's happening in the 1 hour chart. Okay, let's move on to our next question here. Kevin says, could you do a real-time analysis of any structure you see on the current 1 hour charts of the alpha binary currency pairs? We can look really quick and see what we might see here. Okay, so like for Euro USD, we had a range here of the market where it came down and pushed back up. So Kazi high low was created. Let's look at that on our chart here. Oh my goodness. Hold on just a second. Got too many tension lines here for some reason. I've got 10 days instead of 2 days. I don't know why I have that. Okay, so here was a current range of the day, and the market looks like it tried to come down here and push, but then reversed off of it, and then finally was able to push through. So here we may have had a potential seventh logic, and then here we may have had a potential bonus, just depending on what happened here. Again, it's a little bit, I don't know if today is necessarily tricky with binary alpha, but it's an FOMC day today. So, all right, so in this hour, we had a nice flag candle. Look at this. 1, 2, 3 bonuses right before it gets to this line here. One of the things we talked to you guys about is, these pins that are here act like magnets. So the market is going to push its way down to this. These are like magnets sucking the market down to where it wants to go. And so for us here on a day like today, we actually had a nice break that happened here, and the market sucked it down into here. And as you see, as soon as the market gets to this position, it bounces off, struggles a little bit, and then, well, this was news here. There was some news that happened here. But again, even as Kazi says, binary alpha works in news. This I have a skip here. More than likely, this was a flag candle. You wouldn't necessarily trade this probably, but still 1, 2, 3 bonuses within that type of situation where the market broke from. And you'll see that sometimes the market will break sometimes with news. So that's an analysis of a current structure there. Let's see, guys. So that was all the questions on the Gmail. Let's see if we had some other questions here. Stefano says, Adam, do you look for M and W structures even when the market is strongly trending? Yeah, I mean, again, when the market is strongly trending, there will still be some type of ranges of the market, even if it goes past, the past couple of days. But if the market is strongly trending, again, that's a good opportunity for us to get bonuses. Let's see if we can find a day. Again, let's look at maybe here, for instance, the market. Here was a high of a previous day. Sorry, let me pull this up on this chart here. So here was the high of the previous 2 days here, or previous day here. So these are our ranges of the market. The market would try to come here. The market may try to come here. Okay, and as we see, the market actually ends up pushing through here. So the market more than likely in some of these hours had some good bonus opportunities as the market broke through all this. Okay, so let's look at that. This was on February the 3rd. 1 minute chart here, February the 3rd. Okay. And as the market, these were the market ranges. And you see here the market breaks nicely through this range and gives us 1, 2, 3 bonuses and deflag. Another bonus. I'd probably stop here because it barely crosses over this. But again, here's 4 nice wins just as the market breaks through that range. And again, the market's trying to push here. This is pretty close. I wouldn't trade something like that. Here's a nice valid flag candle, bonus loss recovery. Another flag candle type, another bonus. You stop because there's a large pin there. Second loss gets stuck in the second moving average, so we would go for a 2-minute call. Invalid seventh logic there. Another nice valid flag candle. Bonus, we stop because it's such a large pin. 2 losses into a nice seventh logic. I mean, again, if you trade just here, here's 7 to 10 winning cycles. Another flag candle, 1, 2, 3 bonuses. Again, just look for nice stuff in the market in the 1-hour chart, and that can give you some understanding of where you can get some good setups like that. Amir says, while trading, I experienced some trepidation in placing a trade after my first trade and watched the market for a few seconds to see where the candle may go. Is that okay? Honestly, you probably shouldn't do that. If you do that, then you're never going to get over your fear and you're going to miss a lot of opportunities because we're trading in 60 seconds. If you see a valid flag candle and there's space in the market to go, like for instance here, there's nothing to the left, no left structure here. I'm actually surprised maybe there wasn't like a level cut somewhere around here, but nothing in the left structure. Valid flag candle, 3 bonuses because there's nothing in the left structure to stop it. Again, same situation here. We see this bonus, we see this flag candle. We know that this is our range of the market from this blue line to this blue line, and the market, if it has a flag candle, it's going to try to work its way up there, which it does. So, if you get a valid flag, unless it has a really big pin on the top of it, and unless there's like, some weird left structure, like here, here's a flag, but there's no left structure here. Yeah, if there's no, if there's a left structure that could cause some type of reversal, watch out there. But again, if you see a nice valid flag, you go for it. You don't hesitate because you remember you have 4 bullets. You also have split risk. So if you can get into it, you can also have a chance to get out as well. Let's see our next question here. Okay, next question here. Maria says, if we start our first bullet on a 7th logic, does it make sense to use more than 2 bullets in that cycle? No. So if you are in if you only want to trade the 7th logic, you only use 2 bullets there because you were in the last part of that sequence. Oh, Wally says he sent a question here on the. Okay. Wally sent a question here. Is it allowed to take a 7th logic after a 5th logic? If you're sure that you have a valid 5th logic, if you have an invalid 5th logic, yes, that can turn into a 7th logic. That was one of the things we said in the fifth and seventh logic classes. But if you have a fifth logic that's valid, you stick with that. Okay. And previous seasons, Kazi said if there's 2 minutes left in the 5-minute candle, then we shouldn't take a bonus. Again, it's if you have structure that's good in the 1 hour chart, I think it's still fine to go for bonuses. But if you want to be safe, the best place to take bonuses is when you're beginning a 5-minute candle that breaks that makes the flag, or when you have 2, 3, 4 minutes left, 2.5 to 4 minutes left. Okay. Seems like the traditional 7 markets tend to fizzle out around 1500 GMT. Let's see, 14, 13, 12, 11. Now usually these 7 start to fizzle out. I would start to slow down when the London market closes. London closes, I believe, at 1700 GMT, and so around that time is when things start to get slower. The late New York session, and then again we have our time where we mark off that's the dead zone as well, where we don't trade binary alpha. Okay. Asian markets start, after the dead zone. Asian markets start around New York time at 7 p.m., so 7 at night, which is the 0000 GMT hour. That's when the Asian markets start up. Some stuff happens then again. Okay, guys, we have time for maybe 1 or 2 more questions, and then we will finish up today's Q&A sessions. Pedro says, after what conditions can we start operating first level? I know you said we need a lot of expertise, but are there keys or highlights to take into consideration before doing that? I mean, honestly, Pedro, if you have a nice setup, again, try to stick with second and third levels for now. But in the future, if you have a nice setup, like this was a first level type setup, I'm not actually sure if this was a valid flag candle or not, but say this was a valid flag candle and you see that you have strong, you have something nice happening in your 1 hour setup and you can go for 3 bonuses, you can go for some bonus attempts, then it's okay. Then I would say a first level that's the further away from this main blue line, the better, if you have a first level situation, okay? All right, so Andrew says, how can I use MetaTrader on 2 screens? Is there any way to have an extension? I mean, you just have to stretch it across 2 screens. That's how I had to do with mine. So you have to make your screen where it is. For me, like I have my display settings where I extend these displays if I have multiple displays. And then I don't know, just how I like to do it. I like to have these the same resolution, so I can see the same thing on both screens. So that helps, and you can just stretch the screen out. Okay. Andrew, yeah, stretch the screen out. So probably have time for one more question, guys, and then we will end today's session. Are there 7th logic situations where it's better to take 1 minute rather than 2 minutes? Again, going by our grammar, in this instance, we are above the Kazi high-low when we get our 2 losses, so we're going to go for 2 minutes here. If this second candle came down and broke this Kazi high-low, I would go for 1 minute. So again, when we're above the Kazi high-low, or when we're outside of the Kazi high-low, we go for 2 minutes. When we're inside the Kazi high-low, we go for 1 minute. Same situation here. Here we had an invalid 7th, and we went for 2 minutes again here, okay, because we're outside of the Kazi high-low. If we had an invalid, say this second candle came all the way down and maybe pin this tension line or trend line, then we would go for 1 minute then. But yeah, always that setup. Okay, if you're going for a bonus and a Kazi high-low appears, stop and wait, yes or no. So you mean like, okay, for instance, in this scenario, you would get a bonus here and a Kazi high-low would appear. If a Kazi high-low appears and you have a really big pin on this, then yeah, you should stop. A lot of times it will coincide with a tension line though, or maybe a pin on the 1 hour setup. So if you start to see something like that, just quickly glance over, look at your left structure, make sure there are no other Kazi high-lows that, directly connect with that. Also make sure you look at, you know, maybe pins or tension lines in your 1 hour chart, and that can give you a little bit more clarity on why that may be happening. Again, it happens fast because we're in 60-second trading. But again, that's one of the reasons Kazi always says if there's a big pin, then it's a no to go for more bonuses because the market may want to reverse. And here, this, for instance, here was a flag, here was a bonus, really big pin, we stop. We stay safe in a scenario like this, and we never get a loss here because we stop here, we see an invalid seventh develop, we go for 2-minute call, we win in this candle, so we never have a loss here. Same thing in this setup. And it's a lot to remember, but that's why this takes a lot of practice. And that's why Kazi was saying, again, before you think about head break or blindfold or anything like that, first focus on binary alpha at least minimum 3 months because that will help you in the long run because it's a lot to analyze, okay? And the only way to get better at it is through time and experience. Okay, yeah, and again, in this situation, you get a bonus, has a really big pin on it, you stop, you see these 2 losses happen, there's plenty of space to your trend line, you go for a 2-minute put and win. Here you win 2 trades, here you win 2 trades, you win both of them safely. You win a second level trade and a third level trade, very safe levels. You win 4 trades without ever having to get a loss, and you get out. And yeah, you don't have to use split risk then if you play it safer like that. Okay. All right, guys. Kazi looks like he wants to present something here, so I'm going to pass it over to him. Kazi, you there? Can we hear you? Kazi, I passed it to you, but I don't think I can hear you. Let's see here, guys. See if we can get Kazi on here. Okay. Let's try this again here. Okay, I think we can see your screen, Kazi, but I don't think we can hear you for some reason.
Now, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Oh, hi, everybody. This is Kazi. And yeah, it's been a long time. Actually, I'm taking a class, and I'm very happy with his, with his historical binary alpha, because this is the season of binary alpha, and we are trying our best to make you people understand binary alpha. And yeah, what Adam says is 100%, 100% valid and binary alpha way. And today the market is last market day C, and basically it's chopping really, really badly. But I think Adam did the execution. I have no idea what you're taking. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Is it okay? You take the execution class already, right?
Which class?
Execution.
Sorry, Kazi, it's choppy. I couldn't hear what you said.
X-ray vision class. X-ray vision class.
We did that on Wednesday, the X-ray vision class.
Taking 1 hour on the. Can you guys hear me right now? Is it proper? I think it. Sound is breaking. No. Chop. Choppy, Rashid, Choppy, you're breaking up, Choppy. One. Okay, Adam, I think, hello?
Yeah. Do you want to try it with the whole Skype thing?
Mm, yeah, I can go through this. I think it's better if I call you and then actually, but people see my and then I
Okay.
pass you the role then later on. Sorry. Okay, take it.
Okay. Because he's going to. All right, I've put you up next to my microphone.
Okay, can you hear me now? Everybody? Perfect. Okay, guys, I think Aram is going with the perfect direction and he is taking the class full force, and I think he is far better than me. And yeah, the exhibition is the heart of the binary alpha, I will say, because you guys understand the mainstream thing. I don't know what he has taken in the class exhibition. I just see 2 or 5 minutes of it or something like that. So if you guys actually see my season 3 and season 4 exhibition class, I think that is a proper explanation of exhibition. So if you guys actually study far from hello, hello, is
Yeah, I
it
can hear
okay
you.
now?
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
Aram, sorry, is it okay now?
Yeah, it's good.
Okay, so basically, the thing is, if you guys see my exhibition class, there is in season 3, there is a perfect explanation with a proper male-female thing, and Aram is trying to show you the same thing. And I think if you guys focus on keep one chart with 1 hour with exhibition in your mind, and one chart with 1 minute, and with Larry's tool, then you can easily switch the currency pair and same time easily switch the 1 hour and try to follow the 1 hour thing, male female. So then all thing will get clear. And only one thing you guys should remember, that is FOMC. So I will request Aaron to show people how to see the FOMC news and everything. So if they avoid the FOMC, then you guys will see that it is very clear to understand the bonuses, and also same time it is very easy to see the seventh logic or indecision seventh logic in the market. So this is it, guys. Sorry for interrupting Adam. I will say he is doing very well, and maybe in few days or upcoming week I try to take a whole class with Adam with proper setup, because today I try to be a hero and I jump into the class and try to bother Adam in his Q&E. So this is it, and happy weekend, and see you soon, guys, in the next weekend with my proper thing. And follow the exhibition, follow the bonus with the exhibition, and you guys will see that it's very easy to follow binary alpha. Thank you. Adam.
Thanks, Kazi. Okay, everybody. Yeah, that's going to end our Q&A session today. Thanks, Kazi, for coming out and sharing that information with us. We definitely appreciate it, and it's always nice to hear from Kazi in the classes and stuff. And we hope you guys have a great weekend. and just keep practicing again on the weekends. It's a really good time for you to go back and do some homework in the charts. You look back, look at the X-ray vision stuff, see where the markets may want to go and why markets did the things they did. And yeah, it'll be really great for you guys. Just keep working hard, and again, have a lot of patience. Give yourself time to learn this, and we will see you guys soon. Thanks so much.